is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and this is the reflection video of Beterbiev, Bivol. We are here. Whitey McCrackerson first. Mama Lou second. I gave you your first like. Counterpunch to you guys. I will let the chat load. We have a lot to counterpunch today, man. We had one interesting, I mean very interesting day of boxing. Hiya, hiya, Mama Lou. Counterpunch to you. And the tripped out thing about the whole ordeal was we got two guys that fell out of the ring. We got a first round knockout. A guy got his jaw broken. And we got a controversial main event win, loss, whatever. The day's going good. It's a beautiful day. Got a late start, really. I was up late. So not really up late. I was up late. I was up late, then got up early. So it is what it is. You know, just looking at the new news. Jay, that's what I'm talking about. Finally got a notification. Congratulations. Bars. It's going good, Jay. Hope your day's going great today, Jay. What else? And I watched the fight again. I had to watch it again. And I watched it on two different platforms. I watched it on DAZN, then I watched it on ESPN, and that's very important because networks are going to promote their fighter, you know. And Lee Foster, I'm glad you guys get notifications. I guess, you know, YouTube is, you know, throwing me a bone. So, really, man, I look at this whole ordeal. I watched it on DAZN. I watched it on DAZN. It was just Bivol, 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 Bivol. On ESPN, it was all about Artur Beterbiev, you know, knocking him back, keeping him back, you know, knocking him around the ring. DAZN, boxing masterclass, you know, counters, clean punches, combination punches, you know. So it is what it is. It's like, I think it's anybody's world. I've heard mixed feelings about it. I heard people think that he was robbed. Daryl Masters, hope you're good, Kurt. To be honest, I thought it was a draw. The draws came into effect. So, I mean, and I looked at it longer and longer, and it's like, I watched it twice, okay? And the more I look at that fight, is the more it's like, it's a pretty even fight. Like, Bivol did his thing in spots. Beterbiev did his thing in spots. Were these guys ever, like, these guys, both of them, to be fair, they really didn't do what they normally did. But like I say to everyone, when you're dealing with overall competition, stiff competition, heightened competition, elite competition, you're going to have this type of stuff. This is what you're going to have. You're not going to see, and let's keep it a buck. Let me get, out of 25 of you guys, Y's or N's, have you ever seen Arturo Gatti versus Mickey Ward? Y for yes, N for no. Can anybody, can you guys reply to me real quick? Lee, what did Showbiz say? Showbiz just laughed it off, really. He was like, man, I won my money. You know? Okay. So we got some ends. So how many ends we got? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got some people. 5. Mark Williams in the building, counterpunch to you. Mickey Ward versus Arturo Gatti was probably one of the best fights at the turn of the century. It happened, I think, it happened of May of 2022, the very first fight. And you look at that fight and you see these fighters. Were they elite fighters? No, they weren't. Were they popular, well-known fighters? Yes, they were. Very popular, especially based on their reputation and what they could do and what they've been through. Okay? Guys like Arturo Gatti got beat by Angel Manfredi, Oscar De La Hoya, Ivan Robinson. Whereas, very good fighters. But, Mickey Ward got beat by guys like Antonio Diaz, or no, I think it's Julio Diaz. No, it was Antonio Diaz. Zab Judah. You know what I mean? Guys like that, those guys have been that they have been beaten by. Both of those guys. So before those guys came together to fight, to give us something that we didn't even really know that was going to be special, but everybody thought and hoped that it was, and it gave us everything that we thought it was going to ever give us, and then some. That fight gives me chill bumps. That fight makes people tear up. If you love fighting and you love the art of heart, will, and some skill, that fight is for you. That fight is like a play it to the bone, Southpaw, Creed, but in real time. That's that type of fight. Arturo Gatti versus Mickey Ward, 1, 2, and 3, because it was so good, they had to do it 2 more times. And that fight was very, very entertaining. You see combinations, blows, knockdowns, toe-to-toe, back and forth. You name it, that fight had it. Okay? It was like Frazier Clark versus Wardley. Okay? Now, saying all I'm saying about these guys using that saga between those two iconic fighters, God bless Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward, of course. See, those guys weren't the creme de la creme of the boxing world. They were fighters that fought, very experienced fighters that already had their career pretty much what it was before they even met in the ring. And that's the type of fights that I like, me personally, that I hold on and gravitate to. So, matter of fact, let me get my food. I got some food, bro. I think that's me. Now, she said she was going to bring it to me, but I guess she didn't. So since she didn't, you're not going to get any propina, mi amor. No propina para ti. No propina. Kurt, I enjoyed last night's boxing very much. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, let's go. She's not allowed to go on without.
No, you're fine. She said she would, but that's fine. Thanks. But I gave it 115 to 114 to Beterbiev. 6 rounds to Beterbiev, 5 rounds to Bivol, and 1 round a draw. You thought Bivol just was about to win the fight, or it was a draw, or Beterbiev just about won the fight. I'm fine with it. Would like to see Wardley versus Joyce now. Wardley versus Joyce. That would be pretty good. And you know something? That would be actually a very good fight. And see, I think fights like that should happen. So, Gatti versus Ward 3. Gatti broke his twice repaired right hand when he struck Ward's hip bone with an attempted body shot in the fourth. Crazy. And guess what? It still went the full 10, didn't it? See, that's fighters. That's the mentality of a true fighter with the heart of a true fighter. That's how it's done. You don't quit. You don't take a knee. You don't bow down. You don't quit on the stool. You don't say, I'm no mas. That's the heart of a true fighter. Now, to compare those guys, they weren't the creme de la creme. Even though I love watching fighters that are not the creme de la creme. But understand, we saw last night creme de la creme. The best versus the best. That's what we saw in that weight class. That's what we saw. And we like, oh man, you didn't a lot didn't supposed to happen between two elite fighters. Why do you think Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather was so boring? Oh, well, Floyd didn't fight the way that we wanted him to. Floyd wasn't going to fight the way he wanted Manny to fight him. Because if that would have happened, Manny would have had the advantage, and Manny would have done a lot more than he did in that fight. You know what I mean? You don't give the fight to a fighter, or you don't fight the way a fighter wants you to fight. For what? So he can beat the hell out of you? This is a sport that you can lose your life. So the less punches that I can absorb is better for me and mine. So we have to understand that. So that's what keeps people and fighters alive when you do get this rare opportunity at some times, on occasions, to run into a living, breathing, live and well boxer that retired or otherwise, but they're able to shake your hand and take a picture with you and have a conversation, hopefully, with you. Why? Because they were able to bob and weave and move and avoid and protect themselves. That's what that's about. Not someone that's in a nursing home that can't speak or dead. Okay? So this is what you're going to get. This is what we got last night. We got the elite versus the elite. So yeah, you didn't supposed to see rock'em sock'em robots, because that's not really intelligent when it comes to the supreme elite level. All right. Stuart, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. What are your thoughts on Ben Whitaker? Ben Whitaker. I think Ben, if the fight would have continued, Ben Whitaker would have been beaten. He would have been upset last night. I'm not even going to go into like, hey, I think he knew what he was doing, because I don't know what's on the man's mind nor heart. So I'm not even going to address that issue. To be emotional, I could, but why? I don't know what Ben went through. I don't know if his leg was really hurt. Do I have my doubts? Sure. But at this end of the day, what happened? Ben Whitaker allegedly had an injury. He couldn't continue. The fight's over. I will say this, though. If that fight would have continued, I think Ben would have eventually got stopped. He would have got stopped by somebody with more experience. He would have got stopped by someone that was starting to connect the way he wasn't connecting earlier. I think the fight was changing tide. I think that fight was going in the favor of Cameron, Ian, right? Or Liam, rather. And I think it happened at a good time, that he was saved by that freakishly crazy deal. At first, I thought Bivol was robbed, but after hearing different perspectives, I think any of them deserve the win based on perspective. Mohammed, Kurt, it's crazy how Fabio Wardley had 4 white collar fights before turning pro, and Clark was an Olympic bronze medalist with a long amateur career. Well, keep in mind, amateurs give you experience, but also if you stay in the amateurs too long, to anybody, everyone has a limit on wear and tear. Don't think that you can't get injured in the Olympics, and don't think that being an Olympic fighter takes 0 out of you, because that's a lie. Look at Vasil Lomachenko. Do you think if Vasil Lomachenko would have been a one-time golden Olympian and then started his career after that, after that Olympic trial, that first one, Do you think that he would have had more fights? Of course he would. Do you think he would have fought longer? Maybe not longer, but he would have had more fights, so we'd have seen more of him, right? So no, I think it all has to do with how long you're in a certain platform. That's why I don't agree on Bakaril Jololov going back to the Olympics. I'm like, bro, you're going backwards. You're not going forward. That's why I don't agree with it. I don't agree with anybody that turned pro that was in the Olympics, then decided to, hey, let me put my profession on hold to go back to the Olympics. I just don't agree with that. Who did you have winning? I think it should have been a draw. I think the judges should have ruled it a draw based on how I feel about the fight, because neither man deserved to lose last night. I just don't think it. I don't think Beterbiev deserved to lose because I seen what he was doing and it was effective. He was pushing Bivol back with pressure, throwing punches. Some punches were going through partially, but it just shows you how strong Beterbiev was, hitting the gloves of Bivol, making Bivol's damn face swell up. He was making this man's face swell up by partially punching him. He caught some shots, but most of those punches were just, Bivol was blocking. He had that guard up, okay? He had those mitts high, but they were still, some of them were getting in. You're not going to fully block up a lot of punches, or any punches for that matter. But the punches, are the partial punches that got through to Bivol, affected Bivol. You know what I mean? Now, could Bivol or Beterbiev go to the body more? I think he should have. You know what I mean? I think he should have went to the body. I think that would have been a better impact since Bivol's guard was so high, because he didn't want to get caught with those huge, heavy shots of Artur. So it was a draw at worst for Bivol. I had Bivol winning by 2 rounds. Okay. Bivol needs to try punching like Beterbiev. Beterbiev has the strongest, has these strong, heavy, compact punches. Well, Jimmy Chin, that's what he was actually trying to do. In the post press conference, he was explaining that, hey, I was actually trying to catch Beterbiev with hard shots, because I get it. He wanted Beterbiev to respect his gangster. He wanted to put some respect on his names when it comes to this punching power, based on the fact that he did not want Beterbiev to feel that he can walk right into him and through him. All right? I've got to watch this fight. All the Bivol fans swear he won, but people who watch the fight describe it like Bivol lost the 11th and the 12th. He did lose the 11th and the 12th. The 12th could have went a swing round. It could have been, but he lost the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, and some people say the 12th. You know what I mean? The championship rounds belong to Beterbiev. If you see it any other way, I don't know what else to tell you. You know what I mean? But then by that matter, I don't really fault anyone that looks at it a certain way, because we have judges that we don't know how the hell they're qualified. We don't know who qualifies these judges. Kurt, why does no one go to the body? I mean, Beterbiev went to the body, but he didn't go there like I think he should. But then again, Bivol was not as, he was elusive, but Beterbiev was cutting her off the ring. And I think him moving forward, knocking Bivol around, that gave people a sense of winning. Whenever you're going backwards, don't mean you're winning it. In fact, it conveys that you're getting pushed around, and the other fighter is gaining the ring generalship of the fight based on what he's allowing to happen in the fight, like knock you around the ring. Kurt, how does Canelo versus Beterbiev go? Pain. I'll say this. Beterbiev versus Canelo Alvarez would be a very interesting fight, because Beterbiev is not a guy. See, it would be almost like fighting someone like Golovkin. If I was Canelo, I would fight Beterbiev. Does he have a chance? Yeah. Because we're hearing Canelo punches harder. according to Callum Smith. I mean, not Callum Smith. According to Alexander Volsnik. According to um, Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant also got touched. He says that Canelo punches harder than David Benavidez does. So, that being said, if Canelo Alvarez can't hurt Beterbiev, he's going to walk right through him. Now, one thing about what we need to understand is Bivol has a chin. Bivol has a chin, definitely. But I think Beterbiev. See, I still have to give credit to Canelo because Canelo has one hell of a chin. He's always had a hell of a chin. And thus far, it hasn't been cracked. It hasn't been hindered, right? We got James Bash forever coming in with that cash with a half a duh. He says, facts, Kurt. The fight had to be a draw. Both men fought at a high level. The 16-12 scorecard is causing all the outrage. I think people would have taken it better if it were 115-113 to Beterbiev. James Bash, that's a great point. I think also dealing with the scorecards. The same thing happened to Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko. People thought Teo won, but not how the scorecards had him winning. See, the problem is, it ain't necessarily the winner, it's how they scored it. Because it's like, well, wait a minute. If you scored it like this, and it's by a long margin, that means you don't know what the hell you're doing. Since you don't know what the hell you're doing, we question everything that you do. You know, what fight were you looking at? Because if that's the case, that means, dude, you don't know what you're doing. So you could have had it looking any kind of way. Because you don't have it looking like it should look. That's the problem. Bivol said that he didn't have crazy power, as people say. He said that he didn't feel the power because he didn't really get caught by Beterbiev. He said he felt the pressure, but he wanted more pressure. So I hear what he said. Yeah, Bill Keevaney, you win the championship rounds. You won't lose on the cards. Well, if the fight's pretty even and Beterbiev and Bivol, they fought some pretty poised fights. You know, that fight was pretty poised. Kurt, Jared Anderson versus Fabio Wardley would be interesting. Yeah, they have similar styles. And I think Wardley has the power, the edge, but I think Anderson still has the athleticism and the skills edge. I could be wrong, but they're both the same type of fighters. Andre Ward retired in 2017 because he saw these a lot of threats. Okay. Frankie Carbo era returning. Who knows? I wasn't a Bivol fan before last night. I am now. Good. Bivol is the winner in my eyes. Bob Marley. Lee Foster. It makes you wonder what fight the judge was watching. It does. And it makes you wonder what he viewed as Beterbiev being a winner. I think these judges should be more accountable, though. Because they're the only ones that really are not put on the trial and put on stand to be talked about. Kurt, what about Fabio Wardley versus Efe Ajagba? I don't know. I think Efe Ajagba might get him. But then Efe didn't look too good against the Italian guy. That upset, wasn't it Mark Madoff? Didn't he knock out Mark Madoff? One judge. There were three. And Beterbiev 10, 10, 11, and 12. Bivol got it, gave it away. Jackie Boy Johnson. They should make judges watch what we watch from the TV. James Bash coming in with more of that cash. Appreciate you, brother. He says people are going to start avoiding Wardley when they know he's having in skulls. LOL. Or denting in skulls. Ward destroys Effie. Hey man, let's make the fight happen. Canelo is terrified of the two fighters, Beterbiev and Benavidez. Well, I think Canelo wanted Bivol to win based on the convenience of it all. See, Bivol beat him, so he could fight Bivol, and Bivol would have had the undisputed championship belts. He could have been a two-time undisputed champion, like Inouye, like Crawford, like Usyk, like Shields. He would have been there, but it don't work that way. This is the sport that we love, that we hate so much. So I don't think that he would want that. In fact, I don't think a Canelo fight is really warranted anyway, based on the outrage of one judge. Kurt, I knew Beterbiev won the fight on points. People would be saying Beterbiev only won the fight because Beterbiev is Muslim. Fighting a Muslim in a Muslim country, I knew it. Kurt, Fabio Wardley versus Filip Hrgovic would be very good match. Yeah, actually it would. James Bash coming in with more of that cash. Sorry, I meant fracturing skulls. Yeah, man. They should call Fabio Wardley egg-shaped form puncher. The puncher with the egg-shaped form. Wardley. Crazy. They should make them watch, and the fight, they should make the judges explain what we watched in detail. Instead of, that's what I saw it, that's how I had it. No, you show me how you had it. Kurt, Bivol lost fair and square. Masterminds 96. Oscar Hinao. If Saul had Beterbiev winning, his loss to Bivol would look even worse for his own image. Artur Bivol fight was a draw. There was no way Bivol won that fight. What's your opinion about the decision? I think it was a draw. I just think it was a draw. I think both of those guys fought well enough to deserve and earn a draw. Not a win, nor a loss, but a draw. That's all. You fought just enough not to win, but not to lose. On both sides. It's easy as that. Run it back. Bars. That's all I have to really say about it. Now the judge, judges can be corrupt. You had one, look, and here's the deal. Here's the real. It still would have been Beterbiev winning, right? Because one was a draw, the other one's for Beterbiev, and the other one for Beterbiev. That would made a majority, because not everyone agreed, right? That's what kept it from being a unanimous decision or a split decision, because you did have a draw in there. That's what makes it a majority decision. Okay? The majority thought Artur Beterbiev won. Kurt, whoever wants to see Fabio Wardley versus Deontay Wilder wants to see Wilder's skull cracked. Wilder should retire. Wilder is still silent. 4 months later in the 2020, he was 8 months silent. Now he's silent than that. I can't wait till he comes back, because people are going to ask Deontay Wilder how he feels. Beterbiev is a lucky boy. Maybe they need more judges. Maybe they do. They should do an interview 4 days after the fight. That's how you really find out who won. Dillian White versus Hrgovic would be good. I would watch that. Beterbiev is going to KO Bivol in the rematch. Bivol was more active than him and got a tune-up. Well, I mean, that was his first fight in months, yeah. That's easy. Just pay the guys the money. Kurt, you can't just say that just because you don't agree with the decision that it was wrong. Well, I'm saying that based on the scorecard. The scorecard was 8 rounds to 4. A fight that close can't be 8 rounds to 4. But you also had 2 other scorecards. One was a draw and the other one was in favor of Artur Beterbiev. He had to be. Because if one went to Bivol and the other one went to Beterbiev, it would have just been a draw. Wardley versus Jermaine Franklin. I think that goes 12 rounds because I think Jermaine Franklin has earned his chin award. DAZN trying to push the Nagano pay-per-view next week. I think it's going to flop. That was a Polish judge was bribed or threatened to manipulate the scorecard for the favor of Artur. I just hope Bivol didn't got a fair shake because, you know, he's Russian and people are not really fond of Russians these days. They're not necessarily viewed as the Germans, but they're not far behind in 41. I think they did because they get more money. Beterbiev coming off a knee injury and performing like that is crazy. I don't think that the guy is human. Bivol faced looked worse than his, and Bivol landed more shots. Bivol's hands are bruised from blocking. That's true. Man, he hit Bivol so hard that Bivol had scars from his gloves. What else happened? Frazier gets knocked out. Face looking like Deontay Wilder. Controversial decision for Beterbiev. Ben Whitaker going over the ropes. That's what we have. Ben Whitaker going over the ropes. You know? And Cameron. Crazy. Kurt, Fabio Wardley versus Charles Martin next would be great. Yeah, for Fabio. Yeah, Jai Apataya, they threw in the ring. They threw in the towel. I like him. He's a good fighter. He kind of puts me in the mind of a passive version of Alexander Usyk. Could he give Artur problems? You bet he can. Footwork. He's able to move. And he's going to have to be able to move messing around with the bear. When you poke that bear, you better be ready to get the hell out of Dodge. What about the women's fight? I think everyone went for a holding when that was on. Yeah, I mean, there you go. So let's move on. Bars. I guarantee you Apataya will be undisputed at cruiserweight. Kurt, do you think Jai Apataya will do, what do you think he'll do at heavyweight? Well, I think that he will be fine. I think Usyk showed you that. You don't have to have devastating knockout power to go up to cruiserweight. And before him, Evander Holyfield showed us. The ref did nothing about them dipping on toe. No, they didn't. He was too small. He was too small. There was nothing that dude could do. He's not too short for heavyweight. They said the same thing about a lot of people. Beterbiev in 2 years? No. But I could be wrong. I think Bivol could beat him. Because I don't think Jaya Pattaya is good as I don't think he's as good as pressured as Beterbiev. And I don't think he's a better boxer than Bivol. So I think Bivol could outpoint him. Would Jaya Pattaya beat Usyk a couple of years? He probably could. I just hope Usyk's wise enough. That's what I didn't get. I just think he's wise. I hope he's wise enough to get out of Dodge. What's your opinion on Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul? I hope I wish him well. I hope he knocks Jake Paul out. Jackie Boy Johnson, exactly. It's still an accomplishment to see Bivol survive. Nobody else has. Bivol is so strong mentally to stick to his game plan against the monster like Beterbiev. I mean, stick to his game plan about everything, man. You have to remember, his wife's trying to bury him, sue him, and take all of his money and all that. And you know what? I checked out that broad's Instagram. She ain't hurting, bro, going on vacations and shit. You know? She ain't hurting, bro. She ain't hurting. She ain't hurting, man. Not Usyk's wife, Bivol's wife. You guys seen her Instagram? She ain't hurting. She's at resorts. She's at the beach. No, she ain't hurting, bro. Fury sparred Kevin Ladena and Moses Atama. So Ben Whitaker KO'd or quit? Well, he could have quit. He just did it in a slick way. I can't continue based on the injury. That's the best, slickest ass way to quit a fight. Blame it on injury. But I mean, he had an alibi. Because what? He flipped over the damn ropes. You know? He flipped over the ropes. On my bloody leg. Ben Whitaker quit. Ben Whitaker. I heard that last night and rolled out. No one knows what went on in their relationship behind closed doors. Better stay out of people's personal business, as there were rumors Bivol was putting hands on his girl, and no one knows if it's true. Maybe. But then again, I've heard her say he tried. I heard her say she tried to hit him, but she couldn't. I heard her say my father watched him beat me. Then I heard her say, he told my father that he didn't. Well, how is he going to tell your father something that your father saw? I don't buy any of that. I think she's a liar, bro. Too many contradicting things. Too many contradicting things. I'm sorry. You said you work? No, I don't work. Sometimes. Ben would have got a final. Ben would have got to final in Olympics with that backflip. That was also a suplex. Mm-hmm. Vincent, seeing her video pissed me off too. I was mad about that. That's a bitch, bro. But you don't want anybody that has or decides to respond like that. They got that type of mindset. Yeah, she's making it public. She just wants attention, man. She just wants attention. Shout out to Turkey. He wasn't a part of that. Well, it is what it is, man. That's what I say. He tried that half twist, but that's when his back went. Just saw the Whitaker dude pull the guy outside the ring and feign an injury to get away. To get away out, dude should be well, he got out of that. Because he was getting beat up, bro. That dude was whooping him, bro. He was whooping him. Good Sunday, Kurt. I'd hate to be around when Karma catches Bivol's wife. Don't worry. The next dude she hugged up with, because she's hugged up with somebody else. Bro. I didn't even know Bivol was married. I didn't even know that. How do you see the second fight going? Like the first? It's just Beterbiev may be able to hurt him this time. Hurt him worse. The Bivol's good though. I see Bivol trying to be more aggressive and get caught with something and get hurt. Because now boxing and skills and footwork is not enough. What you eating, bro? I'm eating some wings from Outback. I haven't eaten anything. I've been fasting most of the day. I did a I did a 12-hour flat fast. Bivol is a GOAT. He got robbed. We need to make boxing great again. The decision kind of reminds me of Zhang Hergovic decision, but difference is defense ain't a part. Hey, defense ain't an art no more in many eyes of today's casual mindset. Man, Bivol knew if he got hit any longer or any more, he probably would have went down for something. Beterbiev was the aggressor. He was. Laura Canelo, Sugar Ray Robinson Hagler, Sugar Ray Robinson Duran 2, Oscar De La Hoya, Felix Trinidad. Mm-hmm. I had some jerk chicken and salad earlier. Chewing off pistachios and beer, enjoying Kurt's thoughts. I think I got gypped. Bro, they got a David Beards over here. That's an all-you-can-eat catfish place, bro. I should have went there. But I didn't. Break that bone, bro. Don't play. Nah. How would Hagler against Beterbiev gone? Beterbiev would have knocked out Hagler. Because Hagler would have gave him everything that he wanted. And Hagler was a hard puncher at 160. But I'm not sure at 168. It's a different weight class. So, but Hagler, yeah, Hagler would have gave him everything he wanted. It would have been a war as long as it lasted because Hagler would have been trying to blast him out. But understand something too. Beterbiev is just, he's not, you know, he's not this impervious guy. He's not a Julian Jackson either, but, you know, Julian Jackson didn't really have much of a chin compared to the way he could punch and knock guys out. This keyboard needs a crusher and recycle. When do you see the rematch happening? Next. April. March. According to Bivol in a post-fight interview, he did admit that he could have thrown more punches, but thought he was doing enough to win rounds. Let me tell you guys something. Both of these guys thought they did enough. They were both congratulating each other. You know, the fight was over. You had to have a winner. You had to have a loser. So what do you want from me? Oh, yeah. It's in Ramadan, isn't it? No, so I ain't gonna be there. I don't know, maybe May. Turd, do you like Jamaican food? Sometimes. So, but yeah, man, that's pretty much my thoughts on it. You know, Whitaker, I think he could have quit, but if he didn't quit or that didn't happen, he would have got beat. Frazier needs to heal, eat a lot of soup from a straw. Fabio, he can fight anybody that's from Java to I think Efia Jagba, Frank Sanchez, Jermaine Franklin, Joe Joyce, Otto Weiland is a good one. Yeah. I don't like Indian food at all. I just don't. I just hate the taste of it. I don't like it at all. I've tried it many times. I'm not one of those guys, I'll eat it. Dude, you'll be surprised how many people from this area just don't eat certain things, but the things that they eat kill them deader than anything they say they don't eat. It's crazy. Where's Parker? Exactly. Chicken, rice, and peas. Nice. So, but yeah, man, close fight. It's a rematch after this. Don't worry. Who else? Chris Eubank Jr. did a good job. Him and Conor Benn will start their rivalry, which I will start and continue and recontinue to cover. I don't know if he's the best puncher in boxing. I don't know about that, but he's one of the best. You know, I'm going to leave you guys with this, and I just hope it's not because of Russia, because they did discriminate against Bivol before, and he's not a politician by any stretch of the imagination. He's an athlete. So I hope that didn't have anything to do with Russia, because he still stays in Russia. I didn't see Parker or Joe or Joyce or Wilder at the fight. It seems odd. No, it don't. I mean, who are they fighting? There's nobody to fight. Why would they go there? Yeah, they're both Russian, but see, Artur moved to Canada. So people look at Artur as a Canadian, even though he's from Russia. I don't believe it's political. Well, that's a good thing. That's a real good thing. What city right now? I'm in a city called Bossier City. Zhang and Bakali better happen. We probably never get that fight. He said Artur is no Canadian. Yeah. Will Wardley become world champion? I don't know. I don't think so. But depends on who's fighting. Depends on what opportunity he has to become a champion. That's what I should say. But it won't be this year nor next year. Probably the year after. Can you start driving already, please? No, actually, I'm about to jump off of here, man. I'm about to jump right off of here, man. That's like people claiming Klitschko was from Germany. All right. Because he was not. He just lived there. Bivol looked like a great boxer. Beterbiev looked like the Terminator. Wardley should fight Jared Anderson. Supposedly they're fighting. They're going to see if they can make that fight happen. It's not set in stone yet, though. They were just talking yesterday to promote the idea of them possibly fighting when it fell through before because of the damn whatever. I can't even remember no more. Fabio Wardley versus Joseph Parker. I give it to Parker, the experience, man. Beterbiev will go to the body more in the rematch. I think he will. And he should. Get him in there. What do you think? Draw. Crispin jaw. Will Clark fight again or ever be the same? He'll fight again. It may not be Fabio Wardley, but he'll fight again. Muhammad, why do you live here? Damn. Bivol was the rematch, wins the rematch because Bivol will be hungrier. I guess that's like saying that. Well, no, it ain't. But guys, I'm gonna jump off of here. Enjoy the rest of my day. I enjoyed you guys for all 55 minutes that we've been on here right now. But God bless. We'll see you tomorrow. And everyone has been counterpunched. Peace.